Well, good evening and welcome along to your live My Albion TV coverage from the PL2 tonight. Hayden Mullins and his fourth place Fulham have made the relatively short trip down from southwest London this evening. And we are very much in the business end of the regular PL2 season just now, with 3 games to go before the knockouts kick in. Top 16 will go through to the knockout stage of the league, and the Seagulls can take another step towards guaranteeing their place in the eliminators with a win tonight. Currently sitting in 12th, and the Albion could leap up to 9th with a victory. Look at the team news for you tonight then. We'll start with the Seagulls. 4 changes from the last league outing, with Simmons coming back in as captain. Noel Atom is alongside of him at centre-back. 17-year-old Tyler Silsby is back in the starting lineup as he attempts to register his first goal at this level. And former Sunderland midfielder Josh Robertson comes in for his first PL2 start since October. As for Fulham, they're not a team that shuffles the pack too much in the league, and there's only a couple of tweaks to the side that overcame Burnley last weekend. Devon Tanton comes in at right back, and Oliver Gofford is likely to come in at the heart of midfield. They replace De Jesus and Olliott, who both dropped to the bench for Hayden Mullins' side. So almost ready to rumble then tonight. Your officials, Aaron Farmer there just making his final checks, assisted by Thomas Holden and Daniel Bonnywell. Tonight, 4th official just below your screen is Justin Amy. As I say, this is a crucial period of the season really now for the Seagulls, if they want to extend their season beyond April. Final regular game of the season takes place in early April, and then it feels like a cup match every single game as it moves into a knockout phase in the PL2. 3rd full season of that format. It does mean that there is more to play for now for Shannon Root's side. Of course, they did go out of the Premier League International Cup in January. Same for the EFL Trophy and National League Cup, so definitely gives the academy players at the under-21 level something to work towards. That top 16 is the figure, as I say. Looking to get back to winning ways as well after the 2-2 draw at Newcastle, but the Seagulls did go down to 10 men. A lot of grit to take that point away from the northeast. As Senga there was just looking down the line towards Zeppa. Zeppa, who was one of the goal scorers in their 3-1 win over Burnley last weekend. And now being fed down on this left-hand side was Quasi. It's a bit too far behind Chiguaro, and the Seagulls looking to make a move over on that far side. Giving chase there was Aidan West, but easy enough in the end for the Fulham defenders to sweep up. And here is the Fulham captain, the goalkeeper, Alfie McNally. Played the majority of his academy football with Fulham, but started with Brentford. There's quite a few players in this Fulham side who moved across from the disbanded Brentford Academy. Missa goes out wide. Looking up to the line now is Kusi Asari, leading the line of a front three alongside of Zeppa and Wahid. Hall gets it back from Atom, again just looking to bait those Fulham attackers, and the outlet is on this near side for Tasker, and then sent down the line there for Silsby. Tasker had continued his run, doesn't quite work out on this occasion. So back to McNally, who can afford to put his studs on top of the ball. Now over to Devon Tanton, one of those two changes for Hayden Mullins tonight. Tanton, who has one senior Columbia appearance to his name as well. Born in Texas, made the move over to the UK with Fulham. Tanton was over there. He's now on his bike trying to make the overlapping run. Instead they move it infield. Chiguaro was an option as well, but Zeppa eventually does opt to bring Tanton into play. Chiguaro now. The Seagulls very deep in the opening 5 minutes, just looking to get a foothold in this one as Silsby gives chase. Well, and that's nice work from the centre-back and Sassy. Halted for a moment. Kusi Asari, the Bayern Munich loanee, has just got away from Atom there, and it needed Freddie Simmons almost with the cricket long barrier style intervention there. And then Silsby able to draw the foul there from John Asenga. Simmons just invited a few yards forward. Belmont, it is dropping in deep. They're just looking to unlock the runs of Silsby or Belmont. Over on that far side, though, there is a load of space for Maioriola. Keogh is also joining in now as an option, and it will be Keogh to deliver first time towards the back post. Asenga wasn't sure of what was beyond him, so nods it behind for the first corner of the evening. Did need Asenga there because there was a blue and white shirt lurking at the back post. Asenga, who was one of the 3 goal scorers last weekend against Burnley in that 3-1 win. The left back has followed the entire Fulham Academy pathway. He's a regular starter at left back. All the way towards the back post, and it's bundled in by Noel Atom. Well, it wasn't bad defending from Asenga, it was bad defending on the right-hand side. Nobody close enough really to put off Atom. Not sure exactly what it comes off. Either way, it's really poor defending, just to leave him almost unmarked there. Just bounces off his thigh, it looks like there. And it is the dream start for Shannon Ruth's side. Less than 7 minutes on the clock, and the Albion lead. Well, he's back in the starting lineup this evening, Noel Atom, as he returns from his groin injury. Now in his 3rd season with the club after his move from RB Leipzig. And he's given the Seagulls a perfect start here. looking to get on the front foot straight away after the restart. Quasi sends one out diagonally to that far side and just goes straight out of play. So maybe just some undertones of frustration there from Jaden Quasi, that 19-year-old's only missed one PL2 game so far this season, scored 3 goals. And he did just fizz that one out after the restart as Belmont is felled there. Quickly to his feet though, so nothing too concerning. Robertson via the goal scorer Atom into Stephen Hall. Now Tasker looking to stride out on this near side, just flies past Wahid there. And that's a good ball into Belmont, looking for the return to Tasker with the low ball. Not quite the connection that Tasker wanted, but he was trying to opt for the quick return in towards Aidan West. So the right idea is the Seagulls are looking to double their advantage, and we haven't had 10 minutes played so far. Good backpedaling and recovery there from Aidan West, leading the press, almost overturns possession. Silsby is also there, he gets his toe end on it, and you can probably hear the applause from the Brighton dugout. Shannon Ruth and his staff appreciating the hard work off the ball there. Dropping the shoulder there to get away from Joe Belmont, then played up to Wahid. He's going to be one to keep an eye out for, Farhan Wahid. 7 goals and 6 assists this season from his 16 PL2 appearances. Former Chelsea Academy player. And there he goes to get in the face of Charlie Tasker, just bounces back towards him from Chiguaro, and there's plenty of time here for Sam Amissa, who turns 19 tomorrow. Been involved with most of the league games so far this season, 14 out of the 17. He's another who spent time with the Brentford Academy. As the ball is played around the corner there into Kusiasari. Simmons has just peeled away to track his movement and then play back to Asenga. Now Wahid. Just a grab of the shirt there from Tasker, which the referee had spotted. Aaron Farmer was pretty close by. So just slightly clumsy from Charlie Tasker, who doesn't have the captain's armband today. That's been taken by Freddie Simmons, just inside of him there. So it was a 2-man wall there before Silsby just steps away, and Oriola just for a moment looking rather lonely as Silsby moved away from him. Offside line right on the edge of the area. Asenga is over this. Decent looking delivery, just begging to be hit towards goal, and Amissa was there. Tricky one to divert goalward, slightly off balance on the half volley, a bit beyond him. Short they go then. Steve Hall. Just with the customary roll of the ball with the top of his studs, the bottom of his studs on the top of the ball, and just waiting for Kusiasari to make the move before he floats it out towards Tasker. The target there is Belmont, just looking to nod that one over his shoulder for a moment there before he gives away the free kick against the Asenga. Despite the Seagulls taking the lead, a lot of the possession so far this evening from either side has been in Seagulls territory. A rare move forward and away from that as Fulham retreat into their own half. More good work there from Nsassi just to drop away from his man as Oriola then gives away the free kick. Wahid was the target. Tasker always looked favourite to get his head on that. Only able to put it out of play though for the throw-in. So they'll do their best here at Fulham just to pen in the Seagulls. Aaron Farmer just making sure he's happy with where the ball went out of play as it goes back now to Amissa. Didn't make the most of it though. Gives possession straight back to the Seagulls, and Tasker looking left and right for the immediate options. Just to the left of his head coach Shannon Ruth. Slightly loose there from Robertson, but he was able to latch onto his own pass really. West won't be able to get there though, and there's some decent footwork in there from Nsassi. Not for the first time this evening. Shown some good trickery, the Fulham centre half. This is his centre-back partner, Amissa. And Nsassi once more. Well, Oriola had a sniff of just winning that one back, but he's unable to take it away from Fulham attacker on that far side, Zeppa. West will give chase again, so too Belmont. McNally able to wander outside of his area. Amissa again. So the Seagulls just happy to protect the advantage that they have with just under a quarter of an hour played. If you are only just joining us, where on earth have you been this Friday night? You've already missed the opening goal from Noel Atom after the corner in from the right. It was rather sloppy defending from the visitors. And Atom back in the starting lineup for Shannon Ruth tonight. I think it comes off his thigh and bundles it home for the only goal of the game so far. Senga up towards Freddie Simmons, helped out there by Tasker, but another pass goes astray, and that's Gofford. One of those two changes in the starting lineup. He's robbed of it though by Oriola. Look at the pace of my Oriola up against Tanton, still going, looking for the cut across towards Belmont. Well, they just could not live with the pace of Oriola on that far side, could Fulham, and he almost picks out Belmont at the far post. Look at where he starts this run. Tanton is at 100%, just trying to keep up with Oriola. Struggles to do so, and then Oriola has the presence of mind to cut it across and execute the delivery. Belmont just can't quite extend himself. So can they replicate what they did for the opening goal and what was the first corner of the evening? Atom is there, getting in the thick of it once more, and it's a similar looking delivery. Oh, and off the bar from Freddie Simmons. They'll have another crack at it here as it's sent back in from Robertson. Simmons gets another head on it. And now McNally can claim inches away from doubling the lead. Another deep cross in, gets his right boot on it, denied by the woodwork, Freddie Simmons. Well, will they live to rue that miss? At the moment, it's the set pieces where Fulham are showing signs of vulnerability. You can see there, maybe just the bottom of your picture, bottom left, what Shannon Ruth thinks of it gets the applause for the set piece routine, but a lot of credit would have had to go to Oriola had that gone in. It was a lung-busting run over on that far side, the left for the Seagulls, and the cut across led to that corner, and almost 2-0 for now. It's still just a one-goal advantage for the Albion. Good challenge in there from Sean Keogh, continuing over on the left-hand side. Was more of an attacker on the left wing in their last game against Newcastle, the Ireland under-19 player, as Silsby almost wins that back from Asenga. Robertson can take over. Now Wahid in a hurry, driving forward. This is Kusi Asari. Over to that far side where Keogh is off the ball in shape. He's only missed one PL2 game since joining from the Dundalk Academy in August. That's where he signed his first professional deal in 2024. And very much a permanent fixture on that left-hand side, whether it be at left wing back, out and out left winger, or just left back, as Shane NT shows a touch of class there just to roll away from trouble, and then goes for the wall pass with Tyler Silsby, and maybe a chance to shape up for the shot. Instead it's over towards Nehemiah Oriola into the side netting. Well, they're really starting to build up a head of steam here, the Seagulls now. They're playing it a bit like the away team with the way that they're countering when they can, but they look menacing. And this time Oriola again, instead of trying to cut it across, he's just trying to fizz it into that far corner. That was tricky for Atom there, does well. The ball bounces up a bit higher than he thought, and he's able to control it almost with his neck and the top half of his chest. Wahid wasn't quite expecting that. It does come off Robertson, I think, and then just bounces into him and out for the Brighton throw. Silsby gives it back to Tasker, who opts to send it down the line towards Belmont, and they will have another chance just to start again here with Freddie Simmons. Bit of space here for Sean Keogh. Able just to edge ever closer towards halfway and make even more progress, as Oriola is then on hand just to slow things down, and the Seagulls very much dictating play here. Just a switch of momentum from the point of view of holding on to possession, and here goes Oriola again. West has made the run in the middle. West denied though by the Fulham defender there, just prodding it behind for another Seagulls corner. Well, they've been playing on the break mostly, the Seagulls, but that's just starting to change and starting to pen back their visitors. So Charlie Tasker it will be to take. From the other side, we've had two corners, which the first had led to the opener from Noel Atom, and then just after that it was a glorious chance really to double their lead. Freddie Simmons denied by the crossbar. The referee just making sure he's happy with the congestion and the jostling taking place around the edge of the 6-yard box. Stands back just so he has a decent view of everything going on and the activity. But they go short here. Oriola just drops the shoulder. Towards the back post it goes. There was a slight flick on that. I think it was from a Fulham player. Indeed, this will be a Brighton throw. Will they look to shift it around quickly, or will perhaps Tasker wind up for a long one? Well, it will be Tasker. Simmons is an option back there. Making the move there is Robertson. Not the best touch from Robertson, but he could probably be afforded the odd loosener. Came off the bench for his first appearance since October against Newcastle last weekend, and now makes his first start. Former Sunderland midfielder, wasn't far from home in the northeast last weekend. Aidan West just runs into a bit of trouble, trying to manufacture another opportunity for the Albion. and Sassy, but that's good follow-up work there from Aidan West. Gets his body in the way. So Devon Tanton will take the throw down the line. The target there was Kusi Asari, but easy enough for Freddie Simmons to come away with it and get the return from Charlie Tasker. Stooping there to nod it forward was Robertson, but it goes straight out of play on that far side. So straight back to Devon Tanton. Back in the starting lineup this evening, like I say, very experienced at this level. He's got 35 PL2 appearances to his name. Started a good few since returning from his loan at Chesterfield recently, so he's got some decent senior team experience. And Sassy, who's also got some decent senior first team experience, he's just returned from a loan spell at Wealdstone in November. Still managed to only miss just one PL2 game though, 5 games in less than 4 weeks in the National League while Sassy was on loan at Wealdstone. It was a busy November for him as Robertson bends one out to that far side for Oriola. Backtracking there is Tanton. Keogh's made a run ahead of him. Couple of step overs and maybe he can find the finish. And following up, the Seagulls have found a second, doubling their lead. Well, you feel it's been coming for some time. It's Belmont who was the quickest to respond. Another excellent move, and as you'd expect now, Oriola is at the heart of it. Keogh makes the run as a decoy, really. You feel as though he may score, but following up, Belmont is there to make absolutely sure of the situation. And midway through this first half, it's now Albion 2, Fulham 0. Well, this isn't far off perfection, the way that the Seagulls have started this one tonight. They were happy to just take a bit of an onslaught from Fulham and play on the break. They got that first goal from the set piece, which came from a counter-attack. Almost doubled their lead through a corner shortly after, and they now have, after also starting to dictate play and pen back Fulham a little bit more. So, a bit of a masterclass from Shannon Ruth with 26 minutes play, but of course a very long way to go. Over an hour of this PL2 clash remaining for you on My Albion TV Live. Well, it does represent a good opportunity for the floodgates to potentially open and help out the goal difference for Shannon Ruth's side, but they're no mugs, Fulham. They're, before a ball was kicked tonight, in 4th in the PL2. They're making it relatively easy at times, as perhaps just a little bit of complacency there from Stephen Hall. It's the right idea to try and find Silsby on this near side, but slightly loose. That's not the best touch from Kusi Asari, just to hand possession straight back to the Seagulls. Shane NT is the option to Charlie Tasker's left, but not happy with the movement to his right, so just decides to launch one long, but it's one back on halfway there by Quasi. Shane NT closest to him. Now Tanton. Chiguaro is the option just to help out his two centre-backs. Amissa now. And this is what Hayden Mullin's side need, just a bit of possession. Try and get on the front foot where they can and just get a foothold in the game as we approach half an hour played. Asenga with the diagonal, looking towards Zeppo. Will pick it up after Keogh can't completely control it. Amissa over to Asenga. A little bit more tempo about the way that Fulham are zipping it around now as it's played out towards that right-hand side, but slightly sloppy. Wasn't aware of the last man there was Zeppa. And at 2 goals up, the Seagulls are happy to take their time for a moment before just pings that into the feet of Hall, does Noel Atom. And they're now able to send one long up towards West, but that does bounce out. Not sure if Hall was quite expecting it to be fizzed into his feet, quite like how it was. It was almost a no-look delivery from close range for Noel Atom, but they were able to clear their lines. McNally eventually opts to pump one long. Underneath it was Keogh, and then just looped up there by Gofford. Good work and swept up in the Seagulls midfield, and Hall looks to ping one up to West. Quick fire, unable to control there with his thigh, Aidan West. West, who scored his first PL2 goal against Birmingham a couple of weeks ago. It was a ripper as well for Aidan West. Just invited to have a pop from just outside of the area. Smashes in off the underside of the crossbar, so he's looking to build on that tonight. Join the club as an under-13. Senga is in a bit more of a rush to take this throw. They're just trying to catch the Seagulls a little bit off guard, but Belmont was aware. Good chest control in there from West, but he's just robbed off it by Chiguara, illegally so, according to the referee Aaron Farmer. Simmons gets it back from the scorer of the Albion's first, Noel Atom, and then over to this near side. Tasker was up to Belmont, now NT peeling away and trying to wriggle away from Quasi. West, just lost out to Nsasi, who likes a drive forward. Chance here to make it 2-1, and Fulham are back in the game with just over half an hour played. Well, slightly against the run of play, that one, and the Seagulls caught napping. It was West who was bundled off it there by Nsasi. And then it's Quasi who, from the D, lashes one into the bottom corner. Stephen Hall is raging with his teammates there. Bit bamboozled there, the Seagulls, and well, now it is well and truly game on with 32 minutes played. Missa will just watch that one out for the throw-in on this near side. It's his 4th goal in the PL2 this season, Jaden Kwasi. Like many of the starting 11 today, they've all been involved in a lot of the league games. It's not been too much rotation from Hayden Mullins. He's missed just the 1 game in the league, and Kwasi, who knows this club very well, joined at under 10s level, wearing the number 10 shirt tonight. Looking for a quick way back and to get on level terms in a flash potentially, Fulham, and it's hacked away there by Sean Keogh. And from looking pretty composed, 2 goals to the good, all of a sudden Fulham are looking pretty good to find a way to make it 2-2. The Seagulls just need to weather this storm and get to half-time with the lead. Keogh is looking to just stab it away from Tanton. Now Robertson getting involved as well off the ball. Now the Seagulls shaping up a little bit more how they first were setting up off the ball at the beginning tonight, really just waiting for their time to spring forward. But springing forward here is Asenga, driving infield, plays it back to the goal scorer Kwasi. Now Missa again, just allowed to enter Brighton territory. Asenga into Kwasi. Got the bit between their teeth at the moment, do Fulham, as Ruth watches on. All the outfield players in the Seagulls half, but that was a bit wasteful. Keogh able just to dodge that one and behind for the Albion goal kick. So it's a rare, quiet weekend for the other Brighton teams. The next Premier League action is a week tomorrow. Fabian Hertzler's side are away to Sunderland. And then a week on Monday in the PL2, the Seagulls make the trip up to Burnley, the same trip that Fulham made last week, coming away with the 3-1 win. Shannon Ruth will be hoping for something very similar for his side. And then a couple of days later, the WSL is back. A trip to Chelsea for the Seagulls. NT goes short to Robertson, looking to reinstate their 2-goal buffer. This is Simmons. Tarsker's made the run, Silsby. And back heel into Tasker. Outside of the boot was looking for Robertson. Good high press there, and well, the referee spotted infringement on Robertson. Robertson's asking the question. But much better intent from the Seagulls. This is where they want to hold Fulham back, as West goes rushing in there on McNally, composed enough from the Fulham keeper and captain. Yeah, I've been happy to slot into shape once more. Asenga up against Silsby, looking for Kwasi, just bundled over there by a combination of Simmons and Charlie Tasker. And Shannon Ruth just asked for a little bit of calm. There is a little bit of frustration just starting to bubble over in the Albion ranks. McNally looking left and long. Won't get to Kwasi, or maybe it will. It bounces off Tarsga almost favourably for Kwasi. Waheed was the target, but just Bounces off the back of Tasker's left boot. This is a good spell though for Fulham, looking to restore parity after Seagulls were looking really composed and in cruise control. 2 goals to the good, but the momentum very much changed again as Hall goes left to Noel Atom. Keogh back into Hall. Belmont trying to bring that one under his spell, but Asenga can take over. Silsby in his face. Now Chiguaro. A miss up. That's a good run forward. Down the line it goes once more to Asenga. Back there is Silsby. Probably a bit more defensive work than he would have liked, Silsby, in the opening 39 minutes here tonight. Quasi just trying to wriggle away there from Silsby. Tasker just arcs one down this near channel towards halfway, but it's gathered by a misser unopposed. Just to his right there is Chiguaro again, the 18-year-old. This has really been his breakthrough season, Seth Chiguaro. 8 PL2 appearances, including his debut. Joined from the Manchester City Academy just over a year ago. Not too many under 21 appearances for him last season, but involved a lot more in the PL2 this season. And there it goes again, trying to get away from a combination of NT and Tasker. When NT just watching on here with some concern, because Tasker, not off the back of a challenge there, has just gone to ground. Well, this does look quite concerning. It's captain checking on the welfare as well. Get another chance to look at Noel Atom's opener. That was 1-0. Rather sloppy marking from the visitors. This was the lead up to the second goal. Oriola, who'd been a live wire over on that far side, gets the shot off, and it's not gathered by McNally. Probably want that one back again. And Belmont is on the scene. And at that point, it was all looking rather leisurely and simple for the Seagulls, but this is how Fulham found a way back. It was Nsassi who robs Aidan West, and Quasi makes no mistake from the edge of the area. Emphatic finish into the far corner. Well, Tasker is back on his feet, fortunately. You can probably make out there. But this stoppage does give Shannon Ruth just a chance to offer some more instructions. You can see how they're looking to manage the phase of play, both on and off the ball. At times they are just looking to spring that counter-attack. It does just invite a bit of extra pressure from the visitors as Amisa sportingly puts that one behind. And we are ready for this Fulham throw-in. It does look as though Tasker is well enough to continue, temporarily down to 10 players, with all the outfield players remaining on the pitch in the Seagulls half. Chiguaro. Well, while Tasker was off the pitch, the Seagulls were just forced incredibly deep off the ball. They just wanted to Try and not allow Fulham to make the most of the man advantage. But they need to get through this phase of play unscathed. Silsby out to greet Asenga. Now a misser once more. You can see Belmont there just asking his teammates to now push on. Still quite reluctant there, Aidan West. Belmont far from reluctant in his pressing. Still picking out the gaps though. This is Chingwaro with the lofted ball over to that right-hand side. Unable to capitalise though as Keogh smashes it into Zeppa and out of play. Well, it's been a curious first half. The Seagulls with the lead, but it hasn't been all their own way. If you are just joining us and you missed our little recap there, the Seagulls did go 2 goals to the good. First one coming off the back of a corner, Atom able to bundle it home. The next, Belmont profiting from a rebound after good work from Oriola. Quasi has halved the deficit as Silsby was looking to pick out Oriola. That is the key, I think, for the Seagulls as we go into the second half, is try and get Silsby and Oriola on the ball a little bit more, especially Oriola posing a threat every time he drives forward. But we just haven't seen enough of them in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Oriola just trying to make something happen off the ball there, but can only make a foul as we're in the last minute of the first 45. Sent down the line there by Asenga, and Quasi just drops the shoulder. Is he away there from Simmons? Just tangles with Freddie Simmons. No free kick. And Simmons just clutching his left leg as well. So Fulham aren't able to take this one quickly. So a bit more of a chance to get their ducks in the row here, Shannon Ruth's side defensively, as the corner is sent to the back post, trying to give the Seagulls a taste of their own medicine, but they can't quite execute correctly, and it goes rather harmlessly behind from a Brighton point of view for a goal kick. Almost one of the 4 minutes added on have elapsed. Now that has to be the objective for the Seagulls, just get in at half-time with the lead still intact. That all starts with Stephen Horn taking his time, managing the end of this first half, and also it means nothing short. Opt sensibly perhaps for the Route 1 effort. Back there helping out is Shane NT. On halfway, this is Asenga, has Chingwaro inside of him, still assessing the options around him. Looks for the lofted ball again over towards Zeppa, being faced up by Keogh. Another half volley clearance up towards West, can give chase up against Nsassi. Really good work that from Aidan West to overturn possession. And now Oriola is away on that far side, and Nsassi trudging back into position. Goal side of Oriola. Good measured stuff from the Seagulls, just winding down the clock, but still looking for an opening where they can. Tasker nods that one in towards West again, starting to grow into the game. And now Tasker can play that up towards Oriola. NT and West making their way into the area. Still it's Oriola, deflection behind for a corner late on at the end of this first period for the Seagulls. Well, every time is a good time to score, but this really would be an excellent time for the Seagulls to find their third of the evening. And it will be Tyler Silsby to perhaps whip one in with his right boot. He's just going to take his time, compose himself. He knows he doesn't need to rush it. Try and find a decent delivery in from the corner. And Missa gets the head on it. Sprinting over to this near side is Tasker. Wanted to try and keep the momentum of that move, but he can only find on this near side Kusiasari. Keogh comes across but can't nip back possession. Still going here, Fulham. Chingwaro into Wahid. Good switch of play as well to Tanton. Can deliver. Simmons needed to be on hand there. And in a flash, it's a corner down the other end. Well, this could well be the last action of this first half. So similar to how Silsby was taking his time just a moment ago, it will be the goal scorer Kwasi to make sure he takes his time and find the right connection. And Sassi and Amisa are up, making their runs now. Once again, it's towards the back post. Simmons with the header. Zeppa can send it back in. NT is back there, and that will be the last action of this first half. So the Seagulls went 2 up. First of all, Noel Atom from the corner. Shortly after, Belmont had the Seagulls 2 up. Not for long though, before Jaden Kwasi was able to find a way back into this one for Fulham. So at half-time, it is Albion 2, Fulham 1. Well, welcome back for this second half on My Albion TV Live in the PL2. The Seagulls 2-1 up against Fulham in a rather lively and eventful first period. Goals from Noel Attam and Joe Belmont gave the Seagulls a 2-goal advantage, but shortly after, the deficit was halved by Jaden Kwasi. And a very interesting spectacle if you are only just joining us, so at least you're here for this second half. And for Belmont, he's in good goal-scoring form. That was his 6th league goal of this PL2 campaign. He now has 3 in 3. And Oriola also looked really lively. Doesn't have a goal yet this evening. But if you include tonight, he's also on 3 in 3. He scored a couple in that victory over Birmingham City a couple of weeks ago. And in that impressive draw against Newcastle last week, as we see a substitution there for the Seagulls. It's a PL2 debut here for normally under 18 Jackson Morby, who makes his first touch of the evening there. He will slot in at right back. And we did see Charlie Tasker hobbling around slightly towards the end of that first half. And we'll all just firm up whether it was Tasker that Morby has replaced, as Oriola gets on the front foot here against Tanton. Towards that back post, good early opportunity. Asenga forced to nod that one behind. So Oriola it is who trots over to that far side for this corner. Confirmation there that it was Charlie Tasker who was replaced. Another substitution there. We'll come back to that after this corner from Oriola, which is flapped at by McNally. Well, some more shaky goalkeeping from McNally. Wasn't able to gather completely in the lead up to the Albion second. Unfortunately for him at the end, it does end up with the ball in his hands. So a rather rocky start for the visitors at the beginning of this second half. Looking to stamp some more authority on this with some possession. They were dominating the possession stats in the first half, but not the chances created. The Albion with 6 attempts in that first 45, 3 of them on target. Whereas Fulham, just the 1 attempt on target, which counted from Jaden Kwasi. Oh, good work there on that far side by Silsby to overturn possession. Slick passing here now over to that far side for Morby. Sends it into Silsby. Feigns for the shot and then has a go with the second attempt. Morby. Lots going on at the beginning of his PL2 career here, Jackson Morby. And we've really continued in this second half as we finished the first half. Noel Attam, the scorer of the Albion's first. Over to Keogh, who will play this one back into Hall. He's got time to just move outside of his 18-yard box and send one down this left flank for Oriola to chase. Tanton watching over his shoulder, and his clearance is only as far away as Keogh. Inside of him is NT. Back here now, Atom. All of the outfield players in Fulham territory. Middleton. That was the second substitution as well. Keogh. Across it goes. Good chance here for NT! Oh, it was a huge chance for 3-1. Just needed to be a few inches to the left, and the Seagulls would have restored their 2-goal lead. Good work from Keogh, and then Belmont in the lead up. Can't quite pick out that far corner, but really good foundations to that attack from the Seagulls. Well, some excellent Friday night entertainment for you here in the PL2. Finely poised in the early stages of this second half. This is Tanton back into Zeppa. The French 17-year-old, as I say, scored his first PL2 goal against Burnley last weekend in their 3-1 victory. And had his moments in that first half, did Zeppa, looking to get on the ball a little bit more for the remainder tonight, as McNally, the captain, thought about going left to a misser before nudging one long. Tanton beaten to it there by Keogh. Tricky one for Belmont to control, so Chinguaro can take over. Jaden Kwasi can complete the switch over to that far side. Senga had made the run. This is Wahid with the delivery. Good header away by Middleton. Full stretch there, almost a diving header to clear. Flick on there by a misser. Up it goes then to Oriola. Switch from Belmont tucking in deep again. Unable to profit there, so Amissa can just take his time. Keogh kept his eyes on that, was trying to just head it towards Oriola, then gets in a tussle with Zeppa and drags him down. Tanton, for a moment, was shaping to cross. Very deep it would have been, but Keogh was in his face as well. As Silsby gives chase, leading the line as the central attacker there for a moment. Belmont dropping in deep. Stabbed away there by Shane NT. Chance to float one out towards Zeppa. Tanton making the run to his right. Will pick it up now. Keogh gets in the way again. More decent, firm defending from the Irishman. And now being helped out by Oriola to try and deny Zeppa. Through the legs there, though, of Sean Keogh. Stuck to his task incredibly well, though, Keogh. Won't have enjoyed the nutmeg, so made sure he got it back at the second time of asking. Well, it's been a consistent level of drizzle throughout the evening so far, and that certainly is playing its part as well, with a few slips and missed touches. It's not affecting Jaden Kwasi just here, though. Backing into Shane NT. He's got his hands on Kwasi's back. Fair sliding challenge comes in, though, from Middleton. So that's Jackson Morby over there on that far side for the Seagulls. Probably seen a few wipe downs of the camera lens. That gives you an indication of just how that drizzle is in the air. Down the line then from Morby. Straight back towards the Albion goal. with Quasi and then Wahid, but combination of Morby and now Simmons trying to clear their lines. Unable to complete that clearance. NT with some defending. We'll have another crack at it here from the throw-in, but still penned back for the time being. Well, here's another nice Friday night cliche for you, but the next goal in this one is crucial. The Seagulls able to find a third. With the game drifting on, then they are certainly the favourites to take all 3 points as well. But if Fulham can find an equaliser, the momentum very much in their favour to perhaps go on and take all 3 themselves. Up towards Kusi Asari. Good work in there again from Simmons. Another stoic performance from him so far this evening. Came very close to finding the back of the net early on from another Seagulls corner. Just struck the crossbar from close range. And at that same end, Fulham are going to have a go at it here from the corner as Zeppa just wanders over to that far side. More excellent windscreen wiping there. It is needed here at Lancing so that we can see this delivery from Zeppa. Was waiting for the runs to be made. Now he is ready to deliver. Not the best delivery, but it's well controlled and recovered there from Quasi for his team. Wahid now with a chance to shape up and have a pop towards the right corner. That's a stunner for Fulham to find parity 10 minutes into this second half. Well, they just gifted him the time on the edge of the area. He thought about it on a couple of occasions. Just slotted back to him here. The Albion not quick enough to get in his face. And that's a superb finish past Stephen Hall, who was left with little chance to prevent Fulham getting back on terms. Now the Albion 2, Fulham 2. And even more finely poised for this one. Which way is it going to go next? Morby forced back towards Simmons. You can start to see the spray coming up the back of the ball now when it's played along the deck as well. Oh, and that's almost given away to Maya Oriola, but striding forward there is Keo to return it to Oriola with the cutback. Oh, really good block in there. Maybe a chance for Middleton. Oh, it might strike West on its way through. Defensively, Fulham up to the task. Well, here's my third cliche of the evening. You're at your most vulnerable after scoring, and Brighton almost punished Fulham here to restore their lead. Good block there, and then Middleton is denied by his teammate West, who had the first effort. Oh, and Atom is out of position here. Zeppa has got Kusi Asari to his right and Wahid to his left. Can they turn this game on its head? It's Wahid! Straight at Stephen Hall. Well, it was already a lively first half, but finding a new lease of life in this second half. It really opened up nicely here with Simmons and Atom out of position. Wahid slightly miscues his effort. That makes it a routine save in there for Stephen Hall. Simmons just trying to goad on those Fulham attackers and waiting for the gaps ahead of him. Instead, though, he just punts one out towards Oriola, and Oriola has done impeccably well there for a moment to almost wriggle away from Tanton. Tanton defensively strong though, as Atom heads that one straight back to Oriola. He's popping up everywhere, is Maya Oriola, and it's opening up for him nicely here. Leaves it now for Silsby. Thinks about the effort towards the back post, and that was a cross-come shot. May have been a slight deflection on it. Well, it's pretty relentless, breathless stuff. Tempo going up all the time. Well, I think it did come off Silsby last, so that's why we've got this Fulham throw-in. They almost made a mess of it, but that is handed straight to Keogh. Maybe wasn't quite expecting to receive the ball there, Keogh. Atom initially looking backwards, but then a loose pass in there to Quasi. Now Kusiasari just strides away from Atom, and now Simmons looking for the back heel, but great sliding challenge from the Albion skipper. Just halts his progress, and now Zeppa trying to get involved. Chinguaro. Blue and white shirts flood back, but Tanton can deliver towards the back post. Away it goes by Morby. This now, though, is the centre-back Amissa. Allowed to get up to midway through the Seagulls half. Senga with the deep delivery, trying to pick out Kusiasari. Hall was alert to it, straight at him, but could have easily dropped that one just short of the hour mark. Brighton 2, Fulham 2. Middleton. Slightly with a hopeful ball forward, looking over the shoulder. But normal service is resumed, and jogging pace here for Amissa. Now Asenga gets it back to the Fulham number 4. Belmont was closest to him for a moment. Feels like a long time ago. We're only an hour in. It feels like quite a while back that Belmont doubled the Seagulls' advantage. Silsby getting stuck in back there, but the clearance again is straight to, well, I was going to say Nsassi, but it's McNally. Is almost up by the centre circle there for a moment. And Shannon Rooside still sticking to the game plan. They back themselves on the break. Simmons. Kusiasari proving a nuisance again. That looks like a handball in there. Hall this time opts to try and float one out towards Oriola. And just Oriola's presence was enough to put off Nsassi there. They thought about the quick turnaround there with Keogh making the run, but they're just going to try and instead take their time. Wait for the right option. That option initially is Joe Belmont, who's been tireless this evening, dropping in deep and then making the run into the channel whenever he can. This is Silsby. Morby just able to scoop that back to his captain. Ball again, initially was looking towards Oriola, but instead can find Simmons. Good ball along the surface from Simmons initially, and then an incredible diagonal out to this near side for Oriola trying to get the better of Tanton once again. They need Zeppa back there to stop him. Keogh can find the low ball in. May bounce here to Tyler Silsby. Middleton out to Oriola. Good look about this move from the Seagulls. Keogh with the first time delivery in towards Silsby. Keogh trying to win it back. Great shift in there from Sean Keogh. Back heel to boot as well. Silsby sends it in. Zeppa back there defending. Rolls it back to his keeper. First time clearance forced into it. All but Kusiasari in a race here with Atom. Morby underneath it. Brilliant end-to-end stuff here tonight. Silsby trying to get the ball down. Free kick goes the way of Fulham. Referee not happy with something though, so we're just going to pull this one back. Well, it's not a big look here for Stephen Hall, just clutching the back of his right thigh and hamstring there. The goalkeeping option on the bench, should Shannon Ruth need him, is Sebastian Jensen, Denmark under 18 international. He joined just over a year ago. He had 6 months without a club. Before that, he was with Everton. As we see the goals again, just to bring you up to speed if you're just joining us. That was Noel Atom giving the Albion the lead from the corner. Josh Robertson it was, whipping that one towards the back post. Here's Robertson again in the build-up to the second goal. Oriola getting the better of Tanton and almost scoring for himself, but Joe Belmont was there to make the most of the goalkeeping error. That was 2-0 to the Seagulls, and at that point things were looking pretty rosy. Just a few moments after, Fulham were able to halve the deficit. It was a loose pass towards NT, asked a bit too much of West, and on the scene quickly was Nsasi. Good offload in there to Quasi, and he makes no mistake, rifling it into the corner, into the second half. And it's an exceptional finish in there from Wahid, finding that top corner. And with 25 minutes to go since then, since that equaliser for Fulham, both teams been going at it 100%, end-to-end stuff. So don't take your eyes off this one with 25 minutes to go. Right, so we almost are ready to restart here. It does look as though he's sizing up a really deep delivery here, Sengo. We saw him whip one in from deep earlier, and he's looking towards the edge of the area once more. Morby gets the first header on it, falls back to Chingwara. Morby's back there again, and then it's stabbed in by Fulham, who have turned this game around, 2-0 down. Just short of half an hour played, and with 24 minutes to go, it's now Brighton 2, Fulham 3. Well, they've just chiselled away at the Seagulls, have Fulham. Not the best effort there from Chingwaro. It's unfortunate for Morby, the substitute, just trying to chest it under his control. And it's Gofford who can profit and give Hall no chance. Well, there's still plenty of time for Shannon Ruth's side to get back on terms and potentially better. 23 minutes. The way this game has gone, anything is possible for the last quarter. Aidan West is going to make way for Adam Brett. So a sign of intent from Shannon Ruth, a very attacking move. Bring on those fresh legs alongside of Joe Belmont. Does have a couple of goals to his name this season in the PL2, Adam Brett, the Wales under-19 international. Oriola plugging away on this near side, but for Brett, it's his first proper season at this level. Also still being utilised in the under-18s with 1 goal from 10 under-18 Premier League South appearances this season. And he'll get his first opportunity to make a nuisance of himself in the area now. Just keeping an eye there on Maya Oriola, moving rather gingerly for a moment. That will be a concern. He'll maybe just be a spectator for this delivery, which Tyler Silsby, the 17-year-old, is over. Can they find an equalizer? Punched away by McNally. Keogh is underneath it. To his right is Morby. Decides to go all the way back into Stephen Hall. Midway through there, the Fulham half. Trying to punt that one straight back up. Belmont. Now NT. This is Shane NT. Flashes that one over. That won't be the last opportunity they have of the night, and I'm sure that's the encouragement coming from the sidelines. Still hobbling away there, Maya Oriola. You can see there, we're just holding the back of his right leg, the Achilles. Hopefully nothing too serious for Maya Oriola. As I say, 5 goals in the league, including 1 in that incredible comeback against Newcastle last week. 2-0 down after going down to 10 men. Charlie Penman sent off. Still managed to muster a point. Goal from Joe Belmont and Maya Oriola. Atom exchanges a pass there with Middleton, and it's back out to Oriola once more. Zeppa is the man he's got to get the beating of. Middleton is on hand though. Atom at pace was trying to get it back out to Oriola on this near side. Then gives away the free kick up against the Fulham number 9, Kusiasari. It's been a tricky customer for Simmons and Atom to deal with, has Kusiasari. 18-year-old Sweden under-21 international on loan from Bayern Munich. Leading the line with Zeppa and Wahid either side of him. Round the corner, that's sent from the left back John Asenga, but was out quickly towards the edge of his area. There was Stephen Hall. Simmons waiting for the right opportunity, doesn't present anything obvious ahead of him, so back it goes to Hall. Again, the target is Oriola. Hurdles that first challenge from Tanton brilliantly and helped out by Keogh, who almost got in his way for a moment. Well, he is in the thick of it at the moment, is Oriola. They are very much targeting him and hobbles away again. Just wonder if Shannon Ruth is considering bringing him off for the remainder. The only other outfield player option not on the pitch is Ben Barkley at this stage. Instead, it's going to be a double substitution for Fulham. Coming on for Zeppa, it's going to be Olliott, who started in the 3-1 win against Burnley last week. Also coming on is striker Tom Wingate. He's going to come on to replace the goal scorer of Fulham's third, Oliver Gofford. So both pretty much like for like, with Gofford in the middle, replaced by Olliott, who plays kind of as the number 10, so he'll be alongside of Kwasi, and then Wingate coming on to replace Zeppa. He's an attacker by trade, Tom Wingate. Middleton. Back into Hall, under a bit of pressure there, but does get the clearance away on that far side. Over to Asenga. Good initial touch in there from Brett, helped out by Belmont. Again, good strength from him, jostling with his opponent there. Well, they were looking for the quick restart there, were the Seagulls and Freddie Simmons, but referee just making sure it's restarted as a drop ball. NT returns it to Simmons. Middleton back there as well, but it's a bit messy from the Seagulls. Sliding in there, lunging in there is Morby. Great commitment in that tackle from the youngster, making his PL2 debut tonight. NT plays it out to Morby again. Points where he wants it back via Silsby. He picks it up once again. Good footwork to move away from the first challenge and then gets the free kick. Middleton scurries away to get the ball and places it down so they can get underway. Sharpish once more. Keogh looking to bend it into the path of Brett. A bit too far ahead of him, so Nsasi gets there but just decides to prod it out of play. NT bringing Atom into play. Once again, all those outfield players into the Fulham half. For the first time tonight, the visitors have something to preserve. Into the feet of Oriola from Atom. Trying to jink past the Fulham substitute here. And he gets the cross in. Good looking one towards the back post. Now Morby's shirt was just tugged there by Waheed. Referee happy to let play go on, but here comes Morby again outside of the boot. The target was Belmont, cleared away by Fulham up to Simmons. Good juggling from the captain once more. Morby returns it to him. Really trying to make something happen even from centre back, the Albion skipper tonight. He'll be raging as much as anybody else, Simmons, as a centre-back, conceding 3 goals, so trying to get on the front foot now to recover, and perhaps a point, maybe even better, with a little over 13 minutes of the 90 remaining. Kusiasari does well to hold off the Albion defenders and then let fly into the bottom corner from distance. Hall wasn't expecting it. And it's now 4-2 to the visitors. 3 goals without reply. Make that 4 goals, sorry, without reply. It has been some turnaround from the Southwest London side. Caught napping there, the Seagulls. It's route 1 up to Kusiasari. Bounces back in his favour, and it's an emphatic strike into the bottom corner. Albion 2, Fulham 4. Well, is that the goal that seals it? We've got a little over 12 minutes to go. it's been a hard game to predict what's going to happen next, so I'm not going to have a go at it. Anything could happen, really. Seagulls are more than capable of finding a couple late on here. Wouldn't put it past them at all. But whatever happens tonight, the concession of the 4 goals has been sloppy. That's something they'll need to address ahead of their next outing, a week on Monday away at Burnley. Lifted over towards Morby. It's not close enough to him though. This could get a little bit ugly if the Seagulls don't switch on here. NT. Bit of space in there for Belmont. Middleton helps it out to this near side with Oriola. What can he conjure up here? Middleton has continued a decent run into the area he goes, but there was 3 back there in a Fulham shirt doing the business. Tanton was one of them, but Keogh's robbed him. Sean Keogh looking in towards the danger zone. Doesn't quite go behind though for the corner. Easy enough claim for McNally in the Fulham goal. Amisa just drives one up towards Kusiasari. Spectacular finish to make it 4-2 just now. Morby with good signs of intent, bringing Silsby back into play as Chinguaro halts his progress. Simmons across to NT, now Atom. Into the final 10 minutes we go. Atom does seem like almost a lifetime ago that it was he who got us underway here with the goal scoring to make it Brighton 1, Fulham 0 back then. Just 25 minutes in. NT over to Tyler Silsby. Morby making the run, but towards the back post. Can Oriola keep this in? No, just bounces behind there. Rather wasteful. Another chance to slow things down here for the visitors. Bradley Slade is coming on. So too Bradley De Jesus. So it's like for like with De Jesus replacing Tanton at right back. I'm also going to have the Seagulls' final outfield substitution. Kusiasari was the other player to go off for Fulham after that screamer from distance to make it 4-2. And Freddie Simmons has gone off for the final 8 minutes. Ben Barkley is on to try and shore up that defence. Flicked on there towards Wingate. So his other substitute Slade on that far side also getting involved. The Senga Gets a little hug from his substitute teammate there. McNally trying to pick out Wahid, who switched over to this near side. Bounces for him off his shoulder. Still going, now trying to get away from Middleton. This is Wahid, was looking to poke it across the area. Danger not averted yet for the Seagulls. This is Quasi. Wahid again. Returns it to Quasi. Both on the score sheet already this evening, Quasi and Wahid. Lurking with intent. They are forced back though, Fulham. Now to a misser. Barkley making absolutely sure with that clearance, wanting to get the yards on it. Silsby trying to retrieve the ball bouncing around. Barkley then nods that one back into Hall. Oriola understandably starting to run out of a little bit of steam. I think even at full pace he wouldn't have been able to keep that one in, but just starting to tire ever so slightly, and understandable. It's been quite the shift from the Brighton attacker. Well, and that's just flicked on there towards Silsby. Now Middleton. There is a bit of space over there for Morby, but confronted by Slade. Barkley. Now Keogh, always looking to get on the front foot. Does that with his first touch. Threads it across now to Shane NT. Trying to find half a yard perhaps for the shot. Instead, Silsby can hit it. Oh, and the Albion won't go quietly into this Friday night. It's game on again with just under 5 minutes to go. What a spectacle this has been. It all starts with Keogh. He's able to thread it across to NT. He gets the offload to Silsby. And what a way to open up your PL2 account for Tyler Silsby. He's been patient tonight, waited for the right moment, and it's back to within one. Oh, I'm running out of room to scribble down these notes. As Quasi initially hammers one in to the sky, they're up to Asengu. Does really well to just kill that one dead. Not so decent from Slade, who's just a bit heavy-handed there on Barkley. Hall hits that one long, just over the head of the goal scorer, most recently Tyler Silsby. He'll be full of adrenaline now as the Seagulls look to find an equaliser. Not just Silsby though, this Seagull side still full of beans. And Fulham for the first time slowing it down a little bit more than they usually have for the majority of this game. Now it does become about hanging on to all 3 points. Barkley. Over now to NT, who's also been popping up everywhere tonight. Brett, when he forced the ball back to McNally there, almost nipped in. Keogh again. Proving a nuisance at times. Oriola unable to keep that one in. They've combined neatly tonight, have Keogh and Oriola. Starting to build up a really good relationship on the left for Shannon Ruth's side. But Keogh just needs to be careful there, a bit handsy with Waheed. Barkley was forced into a quicker half-volley clearance than he would have liked, and the ball still bouncing around after that until Middleton takes charge. Now Morby. Middleton was just looking to get the ball out of his feet so he could switch it over to this near side, but in doing so has showed a little bit too much of it to Olliott. Now they can start to slow things down again, Fulham, and just roll the ball around, try and wear down those Albion legs. This is Chingwaro. Back they go now to Emissa, and Sassi is on this near side. Also De Jesus. Still looking to get on the front foot here, Fulham, and they've got themselves a free kick as the clock ticks into 89 minutes played. It's been a proper topsy-turvy affair tonight. It'll be interesting to see how much is added on at the end. Still time for a little bit more Friday night drama here for you on My Albion TV Live. Spread across to this near side. Emissa with the chest control, and now just allows Olliott to continue. Middleton just shepherding his every move. Now back into Quasi, De Jesus. Good triangles there from the visiting team. Quasi. Brett getting stuck in there as well. Belmont's another who's far from phoning the towel. He's been chasing down absolutely everything as we enter into 6 minutes of additional time at the end here. Can they find one more, the Seagulls? On the balance of play, they will have deserved it. Oh, Keogh just slips at the crucial moment there. This is Waheed. Straight back onto his feet though, Keogh. Now Quasi sees the gap, and again lunging in there, but fairly is Keogh. So many contenders in blue and white for player of the match. Hall thumps one up towards Brett. Belmont is there as well. McNally happy to eat up a bit more time. Hold on to this lead. Out of his hands, it's Keogh underneath his kick. Middleton now trying to head it inside towards NT, but this is Slade. Now Quasi. Still looking to get on the front foot here, Fulham, when they can. Good positive play from the visitors. De Jesus. Oh, and Keogh has forced an error there, and Brett was looking for the return to the Island under-19 international. Wasn't able to put enough revolutions on the ball, and McNally can clear. High rather than up towards halfway. Really good directed header there from Atom. Some claims, I think, there of handball, but play goes on from the referee. Now Silsby. Morby with the give and go. They get the throw in. Morby wants it quickly, and Morby gets it quickly. Atom is inside of him. Barkley with the deep ball in. Now Atom. What can the Seagulls produce here? Still very much in the fight. Atom just dwelling on it ever so slightly, but he's able to retain possession. Helped out by Keogh. Another one for Adam Brett to chase. Across comes Emissa. Well, a bit clumsy there as he was trying to retreat goal side there, Adam Brett. Still, there might be enough time for the Seagulls. Missa looks to be struggling here though, so we'll have a good chunk of added time onto the added time at the end here.
Hold this cut no deeper. This cut no deeper. Left foot. Hold here, hold here, hold. Shane, Jeff, here. Head it. Don't let midfielders head it. Hold. 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 Steve out. Hold. Last step, Jack out. Hold. Cut. Yes, Noel.
Well, it was an eventful 2-2 draw last weekend. This has had even more incident. Breathless opportunities. Both really well contested as Silsby goes for goal. Well, he was trying to catch McNally out. That would have been some way to wrap up this game. Oriola it was, trying to overturn possession. NT just loops that one up towards Silsby, and he fancied it. Over it goes. So what do the Seagulls have left in the tank as McNally hits it into the Brighton half? Atom gets there first. Oriola is asking the question about a free kick, but play goes on here with Wahid. Lifted in towards the middle. Barkley looking for the header back. Instead, this is the substitute, Olliott, and thundered over the bar. It remains Brighton 3, Fulham 4, at the expense, though, of a Fulham corner. It's good work initially there from Olliott after Barkley can't completely clear. And then the ball smashed goalward. Slight touch on that from Hall. So we're in the last minute of the 6 that have been added on, but I imagine there could be at least one more on top of that after Amissa was just being checked on a few moments ago. Looking to wind down the clock here, understandably, are Hayden Mullins' team. Oh, but that's a bit of a heavy touch there from Shane NT. They don't mind just gaining the yards at this point, do Fulham. Out for the throw-in. Left for Keogh. It's really got to go now. Keogh looking down the line, over the head of Brett. Belmont was the target. Fulham trying to get the ball down. So too is Jesse Middleton. Played back to Hall. Maybe, just maybe, time for one more chance for the Seagulls. This is Jackson Morby. Sliding in there is Asenga. He's also been a live wire for Fulham tonight, and he wins his side a free kick to eat up more crucial seconds. And Fulham do enough. They come from 2-0 down to win this crazy game, 4-3. In the first half, the goals coming from Noel Atom and Joel Belmont. Just before half-time, though, Kwasi made it 2-1. In the second half, there were 3 goals without reply for Fulham before Silsby made it interesting with his first PL2 goal. And there's some inquiries going on between the officials and some of the players. But it finishes here in Lancing, Albion 3, Fulham 4.